to try something new. Want to try something new. This is actually much clearer. This is so interesting. So interesting. Okay. I think we're live, y'all. Okay. I'll put timestamps on here too. This is so cool. Okay, y'all. I am Coach J. Welcome to the live. We are going to talk about um this is really interesting. So this is my first time going live straight from I'm live on YouTube as well. So if TikTok is acting up or you feel like, well, let me go watch Coach J on YouTube. I am on YouTube. My YouTube link is in my what is it called? In my description, in my TikTok, in my account. So feel free to watch there too. I cannot find my blog. And y'all, we just rushed to get home so I can do this live, but it's going to be an interesting conversation we're going to have regarding regarding this performative victimhood and creating content that is going to convert, right? And I think this is very, very important when we kind of looking at how we are governing ourselves online. If you just saw my video on TikTok, I just talked about it. It just posted not too long ago. It's been downloading forever. I don't know why it takes so long for these things to download. But anyway, it's downloaded, it's up there. But I wanted to talk about this because I feel like, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like that we have an environment or a society that really wants to embrace victimhood more than being victorious. And business owners, business owners that struggle with trying to stay on the side of attracting quality clients that actually want to do something, that actually want to build something, right? So it's like emotionalism blended in with showing up online, right? And so we have to just be very conscientious of the type of energy that we are converting in, the type of energy that we are receiving in our businesses. These are all very important. So anyway, if this is your first time joining me in a live, I'm Coach J. Welcome to the live. I don't know if this is y'all first time. If it's your first time, give me some hearts or say my first time or putting up first up there in the chat. Let me know if this is your first time watching. I would love to know. I'm having a free masterclass coming up on the 6th of August. It is going to be so good. We're going to talk about emotional frameworks as a business owner and how women need to, or as a professional for sure, but we got to get this stuff together. We got to get it together. We got to focus. Okay. Give me some hearts if it's your first time. If this is your first time being on the live, I like interaction. I like hearts. I want us to come in and get if you get a cup of coffee and sit down with your notebook, because I love to teach. I am a teacher by nature. So I want us to come in and be ready to learn. Okay. I want us to come in and be ready to learn. This is really going to hit some of y'all. YouTube, if you're live, definitely comment live. Watch if you're watching the replay, comment the replay. So let's just talk about it. Let's just jump right into it. When it comes down to, and content that converts, this is all tying in together. because we got to get out of trying to attract people just because we think the content is going to do well. And but we also got to make sure that we're attracting people that actually want to move something in their life. We got to get to a place where we are attracting people that want to do something in their life. Okay, the world is not slowing down. There's a huge cloud for some reason of doom and gloom. I don't take well to doom and gloom. I don't take very well to that. Amen, somebody. I don't do, and some people like that. They got to have doom and gloom. YouTube, give me some hearts or something. Let me know you're here. Or you could just give me, if you don't want nobody to know you're here, give me some hearts. It still is 0. I probably have to go out and come back in because this, I don't like this. This is heavy. Give me some hearts if you're here. Who's coming in? Who's coming in? Who is coming in? I need to know. Everybody quiet. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't understand. Y'all need to look. Hey, coach, who is that? Hey, queen. Hey. Come on in. Come on in. I still ain't got no hearts TikTok. I mean, y'all already know the drill. We got to get some hearts on the screen. Thank you. Y'all want free game? You want to be taught? You're trying to listen to what I have to say. This is where the exchange of energy comes in at. Y'all know how we roll. You got to keep it up. If you're a business owner, you already know how this roll. We already know. We already know how this roll. And I'm just saying, because this is really about your ability to receive so that you can do more good in the world. Because if the world is heavy and you're feeling heavy, you're not going to attract that what you want. And you know, I'm all about, I don't care if I have to start over. Y'all know I don't play. I be like, look, because this got to be a vibe for me. This got to be a vibe. TikTok, I'm going out and coming back in. I don't know. Everybody's asleep. We're going back. I'm turning TikTok off and coming back. Because I don't know what's going with that crowd. Amen. And I know it's Saturday, and I know everybody is up. And everybody up and doing what they're doing. But at some point, we're going to have to come out of that lack. We got to come out of that. Let me go get my notebook. That's what I'm missing. Hold on, y'all. That's what I'm missing. My notebook. Okay, there we go. Y'all know how we roll. Y'all know exactly how we roll. Okay, y'all. So let's talk first about performative victimhood, and how even when we are projecting online or when we're online and we're building online, there has to be a level of respect that we have for ourselves and for our businesses before we just start talking to people online. We got to start understanding that there is people are looking for collective communities of suffering. They're looking for that, right? YouTube, y'all with me? People are looking for that. And I think that's very unfortunate. I really do. I think that's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay? We've got to come out of that if we're going to attract people that want to take some form of action in their life. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Who's there? Shamika, thank you. No worries, Queen. She said, I am listening while I'm working. I know that's right. I know that's right. We got to stop attaching ourselves to victimhood and stop attaching our worth, stop attaching our business or our worth, our value to the work that we're doing, right? We got to stop trying to attach the content that we're doing to our worth as a person. As a person, you are invaluable. Like your value is beyond measure. They can't measure your value as a person. But when it comes down to stepping into your business, right? Your company, showing up as a CEO of your business, that's a completely different conversation. So now we're in a season where everybody is like, oh, people ain't got no money. No, they do have it because people are at the store today. I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. Let's not act like it. Sometimes your brain needs evidence that things are still rolling. And sometimes you need to get out your house and go see and go to the stores and go and see people spend. I don't care if it's credit, money, whatever it is. People have things that they are spending it on. They have cash. They have capital. People at the grocery store today. People at the gas station. Tell yourself you need to go find evidence. There's always things happening. How can you become an essential? How can you become somebody that is a required asset? Amen, somebody. How can you become a valuable asset to someone's life and not as seen as liability? Because to be honest, there's a lot of people that are saying or feeling like they are a liability in their business. You will become a liability if you don't straighten up. Okay, these are facts. Everybody, everybody with me? Okay, so we have to avoid though that what is it called? That performative victimhood though. We got to stop allowing that in because people are always looking to become victims somewhere. I got to be a victim somewhere. So when you're doing your content, be very careful to not get caught up in the fiasco of that. I have to tell my clients that too. I know that it seems like it's easy engagement, right? And it seems like it's easy lifting, you know, when you need the numbers and all that kind of stuff. Like it seems but I'm telling you, it's a detriment to your business because you're going to look up and you're going to see like what in the world all these people are attracted into my business really don't want solutions. They want somewhere where they can unravel. And this is why you got to be very, very careful of where you or what you talk about in your content. This is very important. So when people live in societies, and I just talked about this on my TikTok once again, when people live in quote unquote privileged societies, in the modern West, we are privileged over here. I know people want to fight that, but as a whole, collectively, we are in a privileged society compared to the rest of the world. Now, there is a gut check that is happening because we're in a great reckoning. Okay, we are in what is it called? We're in a great reset. Okay, there is a great wealth transfer. There is a great reset happening. And when people live in societies where most people's basic needs are met, whether it's through food, whether it's through shelter, whether it's mobility, whether it is the freedom of choice in so many ways, not in all ways, but in some ways, they may still feel empty or unseen because their pain is internal and not external. Okay. So it's emotional or identity based. I'm getting to a point here. They compare themselves to other people who appear more interesting due to the struggles that they are sharing. And they crave meaning, they crave depth, they crave some level of moral superiority. So they attach collectively to the trauma that person is talking about to feel significant. And then some people that are in their space, they want to feel like they're morally right or morally superior than other people. And trauma gets attention. Victimhood can also equal authority in some ways in digital spaces. So a lot of us are attached to people that don't do nothing but talk about their victimhood. They're always talking about what's going on with them. They always talking about how things are going wrong for them and how they don't have this and how they don't have that. And this is why, and this is why. Being outraged and talking about your oppression at the same time can raise social status in so many ways. It's social currency for some people because they're gathering energies of people to make them feel okay, I'm struggling, so follow me. I'm struggling, so I need your energy and like my posts. You should like me. You should trust me. But we're also in a postmodern identity collapse as well. So your content is not always going to bring in people that want to change their life. Some people just need to join communities of let's just all unravel together. So there's a lot of confused self-concepts going on. And this also happens too. Hold on, this happens too when boredom is confused for a lack of attention. Some people are bored and need attention. So you got to be careful that you're not creating content. And this is where I always tell people, like, content needs structure. Content needs you to sit your booty down and plan ahead. And see, when I talk like that, people get like, oh, but see, this is what I'm saying. Either you're going to be a problem solver or you're going to become your own problem. It's that simple. It's that simple. In the absence of visible oppression, come on, somebody. In the absence of war in your face, micro conflicts will become magnified. You will turn a small problem into a bigger one. And really nothing's going on. You are seeking crises. People are seeking problems on purpose. And I think this is very unfortunate. She said, I just had to unfollow a business owner because of this. I liked her energy, but I realized all she does is complain about who's coming for her online. And it's too much. Absolutely. I don't like when everybody is always talking about how this person is coming for them and this person is always doing this to them and this person is always doing that to them. First of all, we're not in preschool. We're not in preschool. This is not high school. Like, why do you have people coming for you? Do you need people to come for you? Do you want to feel like somebody is bullying you? Nobody's bullying you. This is online. You first of all, you can block people. And like you know that you can do that. I tell people, I was like, why can't you just block that person? Like what is keeping you from blocking that person? Because I'm not gonna let nobody tear up my destiny. I'm not gonna let you tear up my destiny just because you irritated about what I'm saying. And why do you have to have people? Why is that a need to broadcast and have a series on who is bullying you online as a business owner? What are you trying to prove? What is the point? Nothing. And this is what I mean by that moral superiority. I want to feel more than someone else because someone is targeting me. First of all, grow up. But some people grow up. Grow up. It's plain and simple. Grow up. We got to get out of that. Research suggests, listen to me, this is good. Hey, come on in. In when it comes down to external dangers, when external dangers decrease, y'all need to write this down. External dangers decrease. Humans direct attention inward. So when you don't have anything going on, when you are safe, that's a word. When you actually are safe by definition, when there is no danger around you, guess what happens? People have to find a reason to be in crises. They cannot. I said this on in the TikTok as well. I remember there used to be when women used to say things like, "Oh, my phone is so dry. My phone is so dry. Ain't nobody. I ain't got nobody." What? Why can't you be acquainted with peace? Why can't you be equate? What is wrong with peace? What is the problem with peace? Why don't we have peace? Hmm? What is the issue with peace? It's something about that to me. That why is that an issue? We just cannot do peace. Peace feels foreign to some people. And being bored is something that a lot of people want to avoid, because that means you have to sit with yourself and actually like yourself. You actually have to think about your problems, and not only think about it, you have to challenge yourself. Do I want to think about them? And see, this is where you're going to kind of depression type of content when you start wallowing in your problems. And instead of you being a business owner and fixing your problem, because that is your job is to fix problems. This is where a lot of y'all mess up at, is that instead of you sitting with yourself and saying, how do I solve this problem? You take your problems online and find other people with the same problem. And you don't guide people to solve them and give them a framework on how to solve it. You talk about it. Thank you, Terrace, for the gifts. You It's almost like we get so excited about people coming to us with those same problems, instead of teaching people how can I help people solve this problem. No one talks about this. Everybody's talking about this, and this, but no one talks about how it's so lonely. Da 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 da. Girl, shut up. Exactly. I said what I said. That is crazy to me. Hush. No. How about this? Everybody talks about this, but here are 5 ways that you can stop that today. Oh, that's going to get people to either make look. This is what's going to happen. You're going to bring people that's going to see that piece of content, and they're going to say to themselves, okay, she's giving some really good insight on how to fix it, and she's giving a step-by-step. Now I gotta make a choice. No, no, no. Let me take that back. I gotta make a decision if I want to follow that framework or not, because I don't want this problem anymore. That's a good word right there. Everybody don't want to solve their problems, and that doesn't get much engagement. That doesn't get a lot of high payers. That doesn't get the premium people. That gets long suffering. That gets people that want to suffer long. See, that's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. And then you get upset when all this content, oh, I got so much content, but I don't know when people, and I just feel like I'm always attracting people that don't have the money. I'm always attracting people that don't have the resources. That's because your content is rooted in crisis. You're going to have to understand that these are the times where you're going to have to be okay. You're going to have to be okay with creating content that is actually going to produce results rather than attracting content that is going to attract popularity. That's where you have to be at. I don't care how many people following you. I don't care how many followers. You don't want followers. You are after conversions. Does everybody understand what I just said? If you see me looking down, I'm on YouTube and I'm up here on TikTok. I'm not saying that people don't have what they got. I understand that everybody got trauma. I understand that people got situations. I understand that people are over their head, with all kinds of stuff. They got a lot going on. I understand it. But I want you to start turning your focus towards honoring your business enough to be a person that is creating content based on the conversions you want to see. That is very important right now. Because creators or business owners that sell based on struggle convert emotionally, but may not deliver outcomes. You may have a whole lot of people. This is why all my stuff is higher end. Like my membership is not low cost. It's not $15, $20 an hour. I mean, $20 a month. It is a results-based membership. It's $197 a month for a reason. I saw somebody have a membership that was $19.97, like $1,997 a month, and I don't blame them. I see memberships that are $1,000 a month because these are results-based communities. And see, people get nervous about that because the lower the cost, well, I can't afford that. Are you coming in to get results, or are you coming in to be unhinged? These are women that are working. They're working. They're not attaching themselves to trauma. Does everybody have trauma? Absolutely. I understand that. But you got to use this as fuel. So clients or people that are trauma attached often resist clarity. Write that down. They either resist clarity, they resist structure, or they resist growth. They're resisting those pieces. Audiences love to feel seen and heard, but they don't always step into the call to transform out of that. I see you, but do you want to see yourself so that you can come out of this? You give me a drill? People who have everything on paper, people who have the flexibility, they have the resources, maybe even the education. Sometimes people like that carry guilt. What we people often carry that guilt or for not feeling whole and complete. So instead of getting clarity on why don't I feel complete, they got to go find people that give them permission. So victimhood provides people with some level of permission to find that moral belonging and to validate their emotions and all of that. So this is where a lot of people, especially service providers, they get trapped. They get messed up. You end up mothering people, you end up rescuing people, and you end up overcoaching them, and they still won't implement. They still won't take some sort of action. You don't have time to embrace people like that. You just don't have the time. You got to get out of that guilt and feeling guilty. You got to push them into taking action. Everybody, everybody catching what I'm saying? Does this kind of low key make sense? So, in your content, and this is where a lot of women are struggling with their content because they're saying, "I don't know what to say." You do know what to say. You absolutely do know what to say. You know what to say. You know why you know what to say? It's because you're not saying it, because you're afraid of being ostracized or criticized by people who are looking for trauma. I don't want I don't want to make people feel like da 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 da. Okay, so do you want to get paid or not? That's why I always go back to, do you want to get paid or not? That's why I always challenge my clients with that. Okay, so you telling me what you don't want to do, but I ain't heard nothing about what you do want to have. Because do you want to be a mother or do you want to be a mogul? Come on, that's a bar right there. Are you looking for to be a surrogate parent? Do you want to be people's mother? You don't have time for that. That's a word all by itself. Do you want to be a guide? These things matter. The virtue of suffering. So even when it comes out to your content, I'm gonna tell you straight up, in systems where it's about being close to pain, close to pain, close to pain. Being close to pain to some people means being morally credible. It's how so many people try to earn a community. They try to earn validation. They try to earn an identity. I care so much about people that have been done wrong by this. I care so much about people that don't feel like they've been hurt or seen because of this. But these are people that are never ever going to compensate you for a solution because they want to be cared about to stay in their problem. And because you're not conditioning people to learn and grow and work on their own problems so they can bring a solution to their own table, you are keeping them stuck and you are an enabler. It keeps people in this emotionally stagnant place. It's very unfortunate. It is very, very unfortunate. So we got to be careful of not putting ourselves in spaces where we're creating content based on how we feel about people that we know are not going to move the needle. When someone has, and this is psychology, and I'm getting ready to end in a few. The psychology behind why people feel attached to chaos to feel whole and complete. When someone has access, like I said, and they still feel very empty, they feel very lost, whatever, then they start to question the validity of their emotional pain. So they think about, why do I feel so anxious when I'm not being, I'm not being harmed, I'm not in danger? Why am I sad if I'm not struggling like them? Do I even have the right to want more than what I currently have? I shouldn't want more because they're struggling with this and the third. This is why you attract a like attracts like. And some people will attract based on somebody else's likeness. A client who wants to grow but panics when life gets calm, that is a problem in itself. I have seen it so many times where women will say things like, I feel like when I'm not doing anything, I feel guilty because I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, okay, do you feel like you're moving in your business? Yes, like I got a couple of clients, but I also feel like, okay, so that's called like your body is used to activity all the time. And there is nothing wrong with, keeping that momentum rolling, because sometimes you do need to keep up the momentum. That's where abundance comes in at. But if you feel like you need to be called to just kind of recalibrate and rest because you just finished a launch or something like that, then there's nothing wrong with stepping back. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody with me? Does this make sense? A buyer who is resisting their next level because it feels like they're betraying their community. And that's also afraid of the backlash that they'll get from their community. That's also a red flag. Struggle makes people feel relatable, and I think that's very unfortunate. Pain will create community faster than peace will. And this is why people will stay in groups and platforms or continue with a certain type of message where everyone is processing together, but no one is obtaining peace. No one is allowed to outgrow the scabs. They're not willing to, they're not allowed to grow. They feel like they're not allowed to grow. I'm afraid of putting my wins out there, or I'm afraid of putting my clients' wins out there because I don't want nobody to feel some type of way. Are you kidding me? And you know that's what gets you clients. You need to talk about your wins all the time. Why would you want your community to see your business like not moving? I share my wins. You're supposed to do that. I think that's such a psychological block to me. Like one of the biggest money blocks that I see women going through is not sharing your clients' wins. Well, how do we know? How do people already complaining about they're not getting? How do people know they're telling the truth? You can't worry about people not telling the truth or not. Are you telling the truth? Do you know that you're telling the truth? You tell your own truth. You're a grown person. You're an adult. If people are scared about or suspicious about if you're telling the truth or not about a client win, that is between them and their lack of faith. Has nothing to do with you. I want you to understand that. McDonald's advertises and markets fake food every single day. Do you think that they're stopping anytime soon just because everybody knows their food is fake? Who's gonna sue them? I mean, there has been people that sued them, but McDonald's is not stopping. They know their food is fake. They're going to keep on going. Because that's the power of marketing. Because they know they market for convenience. McDonald's is all about convenience. It's not about health. It's not about fresh food and fresh ingredients. It's about convenience. You have to attract clients. You have to attract customers. You have to attract that. Everybody with me? So you need to understand that holding space, and I'm getting ready to end here, holding space for them to detach from the drama that made them feel worthy You got to understand that you have to detach from that. But they have to detach themselves from the drama. That's where you're giving them space. The ones that actually want to do well, you're helping them to detach from the drama. And that's why you need to be in business. This is why you need to continue your business. There's a lot of people right now that's asking themselves, what is all this for? What is all this for? It's for your greater good. We knew these times were coming. But if you're not gearing up and saddling up and equipping yourself with what you need emotionally, financially, physically, you're not going to see your way out. This is about your future on the line. Everybody with me? So what is the whole point? If you're going to use content that converts, you're going to have to be okay with less engagement, less likes, less going viral, and moving more towards more conversions that actually stick. That's where you have to move to. That's where you got to go. And you got to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that because nobody's going to do anything. Nobody is going to revolutionize anything. And I hate to say that, but that's just where we at. Nobody is going to spark up a revolution. That's not going to happen. Everybody waiting on somebody to go first. Have you noticed that? Everybody's waiting on somebody to go first. Nobody's going to go. Nobody's going to go. If the men are not going, women definitely ain't going. Because women tired. Because women then went first for the past 10 years. Women ain't going first no more. They're not going. They're done with it. They're done with it. Okay. Anyway, TikTok, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look at the replay on my YouTube. YouTube, thank you. This is the first time I did my live like this, and I like it. I don't know. I got to look back in and see how it does. All right, y'all, follow me for more. And but I think this is really interesting. So I will be going live like this more often. And y'all have a great rest of your day.